I mean, it's got real thick tires.
That's true.
All four corners. 305s.
Look at this piece of junk.
Look, you showed us some respect to one of the greatest nameplates ever.
This is directly from the C6.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. What else do you know of that transfers over from the C6?
I don't know. The engine.
Well, we all know that
They had some left over in the factory from 13. They're like, what are we gonna do with these things?
let's bring back the Z28.
All right, sure. We'll throw it in the Camaro. Cool car. Quite a pricey price tag, but cool car. Mm-hmm. I like them because they're better. This thing screaming 7,000 RPM. You're like, what?
Yeah.
And then it's got 8,000 RPM tachometer.
How many miles are on it? I forget.
9,000? 9 or 7? Here's jamming out. 76. 76.24.
Ooh.
She's broken in. Let's see what it makes.
I think you could have done before I was here, but I think this is the first full build one.
Yeah.
I think the last one was just like a tune or something. So yeah, 5th gen Z28. It has the LS7. We're doing heads, cam, intake, and headers.
Yeah. Cool.
On paper, pretty straightforward, but very effective combination.
Yeah, it should make roughly 600 wheel, which would be plenty in this thing. It'd be very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the snot out of it and it'd be fine. Which is always what you kind of want to go for. Something you can literally ring its bell all day and it'd be fine. I'll be able to do that with this.
Alright.
I popped the trunk because I want to take these off and I'm going to put them in the trunk. They look dipped.
I think they are. It's a shame because I don't know if they'll fit with the MSD.
I could definitely try. I mean, it uses the stock fuel rail and everything, so maybe. We'll see. So one problem with the vehicle that sits a lot, especially, you know, even though this is relatively new, it sits a lot. It's got a mouse nest. Looked like somebody lived on it in it at one point. But I checked over because the fuel injector's right there. All the wiring is perfect. So it literally looks like they were just looking for a home.
Okay.
I want to get the fuel rail off, get the other cool pack off, the intake off. I'm not sure if we're doing an actual cold air. These flow really good.
Yeah, this is like an excellent polar intake from the factory. A lot of people,
go to this style intake. We found the storage for Mr. Squirrel, or mouse.
Yeah, I'd say they were stockpiled.
No, I didn't clean anything because these heads are coming off, so it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
But when the heads come off, I'll be sure nothing's in the cylinders or anything. So right now, I'm taking that side exhaust is off. This side's about to come off, and then start taking the front accessories off. I pull the heads.
Right.
And I got to pull an oil tank, which is really weird.
Yeah, because Z28s were dry sump.
Mm-hmm. But it's cool. There's no dipstick. The dipstick's there. It's not on the side of the block. So we're getting there.
Alright, so maybe by the end of the week.
That's my goal. Well, be running.
Running in a few days.
Yeah.
Dyno by the end of the week. Stock units.
Yeah. LS7s, and LT motors run the thicker push rod, 3/8, I believe. Always when you do a cam, you should do a hardened push rod because these balls are, I don't know, I feel like they're maybe welded, possibly. But yeah, anyway, they're likely to fail with aftermarket cam and everything. So always upgrade to push rods. Cheap, easy insurance.
I'm just making sure now.
There you are.
Every vacation. She judged me. I was like,
Yeah. No. Oh, what's over there in the phrase? They're on the box over there. Yeah. Okay. I just didn't want them to fall.
You just checking. So I'm guessing like a high zinc lube.
Say it's really
Stringy.
well, not stringy. It's sticky. It's not runny. So this is good. As say I don't get it running today, this is going to stay on there for a very long time. Doesn't have to be today, or like not tomorrow, but
It won't run off.
I wouldn't give it 6 months, but it'll keep the bare metal protected for a good long time and provide good lubricity when it's started. I like to spin at each time I go to a cam bearing. That's just personal preference.
Yeah, basically you're what? Also lubricating the bearings?
The bearings as I go through. Water pump bolt. Also a tech tip. Use a water pump bolt to support the end of the cam. So like as you go in, the final couple lobes, you pick the back of the cam up.
I've seen crank bolts used as well.
Crank bolts. Some people use an extension. I find if you have this bolt already out, why not use it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. I'll get the cover back on, torque the cam plate, and then I'll put the gear on. Although we have no miles on this thing, like 1,700, we're still gonna do new OEM trays and Cadillac racing lifters. They don't come in a box. Good way to tell, you can actually see. It's got
a bow tie engraved on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure there could be counterfeits, but that's just one way. I mean, I just opened the box, so I know. But yeah, you can always see Cadillac Racing as a shift emblem.
And the main reason for doing these is because they withstand higher RPM, right?
Yeah. Designed for racing. You weren't here before I went on a tangent because we were filming something, and I just came running over and I'm like, you don't have to soak lifters. Because by time I put the lifters in, put the heads on, clean the heads, cylinder heads, deck, put the heads on, put the intake on, put everything else on, they're going to be drained. So, if anything, you could just put a little bit of assembly lube on the lifter tips.
Okay.
Or the roller tips. And be fine. These trays are terrible.
I never really understood that design. Like, how does that even last?
Plastic.
The lifters are literally moving in that constantly.
Yeah.
Works though.
Yeah.
Just don't reuse them.
Yeah, I was
I'm
telling.
just surprised 700 miles, they're so loose.
Put all the oil holes facing one way? No.
I've put them in towards each other.
Really? Why did you have a method to it?
Yeah.
I put them all facing towards the rear of the car.
Really? Why? That's the relief hole, isn't it?
It literally, no, that's how the pressure gets into the lift.
In, okay.
It doesn't matter, the entire circle. I do it so that if someone takes shit
Okay.
apart that I built, I'll know.
You know.
That's not the only thing I do. This is recording and I don't want everyone to know.
Cool. So the oil tank's going back in.
It's funny how much room it takes up. Like, you weren't filming. We had the oil tank out, and there's like, yeah, there's plenty of room for a turbo right there.
Yeah, because the radiator has like a split design.
It's yeah, it's got one puller and then one pusher fan. So yeah, without the tank here, there's tons of room right here to put a nice
Activities.
turbo. Activities?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're tightening oil lines. I have to tighten the lower mounts because it goes like over the cross member, and really put the intake on, and then put some fluids in her. And
So, stupid question. When filling one of these dry sump cars, do you fill them from the valve cover or go right to the tank?
no tank. What I do anyway with anything, because these heads were new and they're dry, I basically put a half quart of oil in each cylinder head and let it drain, and you know, to give it some lubricity there. But no, if you put 10 quarts in here, you will hydrolock the motor because the pan is not designed to hold 10 quarts. So yeah, usually there's like 1 or 2 quarts that sits in the pan.
Okay.
Everything else sits in the tank. Everything else is done down here. I just need, I see now I need 2 zip ties, then do fluids, and then we're ready for first start.
Cool.
You short mother.
What do you want? You're under the damn thing.
Dude, I hit everything.
Come here.
Well, yeah.
That's where I'm standing. See?
still
okay. You
Crouching.
No, don't hit anything.
Short ass motherfucker. So these are bigger.
Yeah, this is like I said. This is I think 2 3/4.
It doesn't even look that much bigger.
No, it's very very subtle. Yeah, and it does have dual mode, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah. And these are 2-inch headers.
Oh wow, that is pretty close.
Yeah, but you should be okay.
I mean, they're gonna move together. We'll
Yeah.
be fine. Did you trim this?
No. So that's what we're looking at. Look over here. You see how the edge is nice and smooth.
Yeah, this has been trimmed.
But I don't know if they did it at the factory. Because look, this is all taken out,
Oh, that's
and
true.
that's taken out. I know for like 5th gen Zeal, like see how they did it for the oil line. I feel like that was done at the dealer. Either done at the during a PDI. Maybe during a PDI.
Maybe it's just a ZL1 thing. There's like
Or
kind of fits, so let's cut it up.
D28.
If we always cut them like this for the
Yeah.
headers, I normally never go that aggressive. But
Yeah. No, it was already done. See?
already done.
See? I'm not
No
crazy.
flow.
The dry sumps are a little different. You can't just jam 10 quarts in there. You'll overfill the tank and it'll flow everywhere and everything. So a good thing to do is literally put 8 quarts in, let it get up to oil temp, let it get up to oil temp, let it sit, and then you check it again, and then you can add from there. But 8 is perfectly safe to run on a dry sump car, even though it calls for 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put 8 in, 8.5, whatever. Somewhere around there. You don't have to exactly put 10 in. Because if you put 10 in, like I said, and the pan is dry, you know, so that's fine. So, kind of interesting, cool little thing. Being a Z28, you know, they were all about lightness and speed and everything. It doesn't have the side, like plastics. Usually this is all covered and everything, and
I didn't notice that. I did notice it doesn't have like the carpet on the trunk deck lid, but didn't notice that.
you'll see them on the ground over here. Unfortunately, I do. These do not fit anymore with the MSD intake, so you will just have to sell them.
That or trim them to fit.
Or trim them to fit, yeah, we're not trimming them.
Yeah. It's not that they don't clip back on, they don't...
They do clip back on.
They just don't sit right.
They go here on the valve covers, and then they also go here on the fuel rails. So you would have to trim a lot of this. And I really don't want to do that. These are pretty nice. But he's more than welcome to trim them if you would like.
Already? It's 15 degrees across the board, so I'll clean that up and then we'll add some timing. Get up there. I want to hit 600, but we'll see. $590. Maybe another 100 RPM. Might hit it on a cool down pull. It's 21 degrees up top. I mean, it's still picking up, but we're definitely getting to the end. I pulled some out here thinking it didn't want it. Apparently it wants it. So I'll put it back in down there. $599.6. Do another run. Get the oil up the chest. I kind of figured it does go kind of flat up top. You can almost use slightly better engine. It's not bad, but really? Yep. I just made a small adjustment. So now we can say the 600 horsepower V28. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm still going to run it one more time just to make another small adjustment, but made 600, so can't complain there. No, not at all. Alright, so the Z28 is now off the dyno, making 601 horsepower. And there it goes for its street tuning.